I'm back in West Virginia for the second time. This is the first ever Shepardstown Open. It's a Swiss, it's 4 rounds, it's game in 30, delay 5. One of the fastest time controls I've played in a really, really long time. I already have move 1 on the board, e4. I play the Caracan. And my opponent, he's an older gentleman, probably over 50, maybe over 60, I'm not sure. Resident of West Virginia, and he's at his floor of 1600. But what he does in this game, he gambits a pawn, plays fast, and puts pressure on the clock, and this has a really exciting end. So he puts 2 pawns in the center, I strike back, and we both develop our pieces here, except instead of taking back on e4, he plays bishop c4. So he's saying, this usually indicates that they're going to play f3 and give up the pawn completely. However, not necessarily. Like after my next move, knight of 6, just defending my pawn, developing a piece, he could, he plays bishop g5 first, and after I defend my pawn even more, I could defend my pawn like this, because now if he takes, I take back with a knight and it's still defended. However, I'm blocking my light squared bishop. I don't want to do that. So I develop my bishop out like this, and now he can play knight e2, knight g3, and play queen e2 and win this pawn back. And if he does win the pawn like that, I don't really care. It doesn't really matter, because I know if he really wants to win the pawn back, he can. But in the time that he spends to win back the pawn, I'm going to develop pieces and have an okay game. All right, he plays knight ge2, and here I was debating on what to do. Part of me thinks that a position like this, a lot of times g6 is good, because you don't want to commit your bishop to d6 or e7. Sometimes you want to actually put it on g7. Wasn't really sure, and I didn't really like the look. Like after knight g3, I was like, okay, well, after I can go bishop g4, attacking his queen. I think I'll go queen d2. I was like, okay, well, he's winning back his pawn. He's, this is probably totally fine. I don't see anything wrong with it. Alternatively, after g6, he could actually take on f6 and then play knight g3. And now I don't have bishop g4, and like, where does my bishop actually belong? Of course, if I just play bishop e7 or something like that, like I do not want to have triple isolated pawns. Sorry, they're not isolated. And I could have, if I take something on f3, like this could be quadruple isolated pawns. That would be really cool. But probably not going to happen. So in hindsight, especially actually if he takes on f6, the position doesn't look that good for me. So I'm glad I didn't play g6. I just continue development with my other knight. So now if he takes, I can take back with my other knight, and I don't have to double my pawns. He castles, and now I actually spend time to play h6. And my idea is like, okay, I'm happy if he trades and then he gives up the bishop pair. I also give more space for my bishop to move backwards if I want to. And maybe I can play g5 and be aggressive, maybe. Probably not. And then and also I'm just giving my king future luft when or if I eventually castle kingside. So I thought h6 made a lot of sense. He moves his bishop back. And to me, when he moved the bishop back to e3, that's when I knew, like, okay, he's definitely not going to try to win the pawn. Well, he still can, but it's going to take a lot more time if he wants to win back the pawn. But it's interesting that, he ends up, after e6, he plays f3. He ends up giving up the pawn in a way where his knight is on e2. Like almost always when white does this, they play f3 while their knight is on g1. And that's important. But with knight on e2, it's actually really interesting because it's different. With knight on f3, the knight can hop into e5 really easily. But with knight on e2, it can actually go to g3, attack the bishop, go to h5 maybe, or f5, if it's possible in the future, and target the king in a different way. So I actually thought that was really interesting, and I just developed a piece. I could go bishop d6, but a lot of times it's nice to control this d5 square after this knight moves. And sometimes this bishop on d6 can get hit. Right now, it doesn't look bad at all to go bishop d6, but I think it's just a stylistic choice. Bishop e7, everything's nice and cozy here. But like I said, nothing wrong with bishop d6 at all. He plays h3, I castle, and now he moves his knight out with tempo, attack my bishop. I really don't want to double my pawns. Even if this bishop was defended twice, I don't want to double my pawns like that. I'll drop my bishop back to g6 because it covers h5 and f5 even more. He goes queen d2. I go knight b6, and now I'm going to try to improve my position here. So this knight is doing a good job, but now it's doing an even better job. It's centralized, so that entices him to trade. And now I'm attacking his bishop. This is his bad bishop by definition. So a bad bishop is a bishop that is the same color as the pawn in the center. So white has a pawn in the dark square in the center. Well, that's a dark square bishop, so this is a bad bishop. So I might not want to take this bishop necessarily, but at the same time, this bishop is an attacking piece. It's pointed towards my king side, and yeah, so you know, I could definitely choose to take it any moment, but it's my choice to make, which is nice. He plays c3. I play a5. I was not sure the best way to proceed here. Probably a good way to proceed is just go rook c8 and c5. Like, genuinely, like, I think that's a decent way to proceed. Instead, I kind of go a bit nutty in the sense, like, I go a5, and he could play a4, and nothing's wrong with that. I think if a4, I was thinking about going queen b6, and then I was actually calculating this during the game. I was like, okay, well, what if he takes? You know, if he takes, then I'm like, where's my pawn breaks? Well, now I have to move my queen again, and then play for b5 maybe, and b4. So I actually, if he did play a4, I'm not entirely sure what I would do. I mean, I could always take, and then play queen b6 to attack the bishop, and there's actually not an easy way to defend it. You have to move your bishop back to d1 or something like that. And yeah, so this looks pretty decent. This looks pretty decent for black. I think black just wins a pawn, and white doesn't have any compensation for it, and so white's down 2 pawns, actually. So maybe that's what I would have done if he played a4. Instead, he plays a3, which is definitely more solid. And now I play a4. He moves his bishop back. Once again, I might be able to just go play queen b6. Queen b6 looks kind of decent. Although he can take again. And once again, I probably have to move my queen out of the way and play b5, b4. That's probably my only source of counterplay. But I do have the bishop pair, and it's not bad at all. And of course, if he doesn't play, and if he does play bishop c2, then I take on b2, attacking the bishop, attacking the rook. Looks pretty good to me. If he defends, then I could probably just snip, snip, and snip. Or alternatively, snips like this, and do that like this, maybe. Anyways, so it looks pretty good for me. So maybe a4 wasn't the best move, but it feels good to like restrict his queen side like this. And now it's, you know, this b2 pawn might be weak because it's a backwards pawn. It was bishop c2. Don't really have anything better to do than just to trade it. And then I play c5, playing actively. And, you know, nice little idea. You know, if he takes, I'm going to take. And then, bam, you got pinned. Your rook is pinned to your king. Life is good. So a nice little idea to play in the center. Because really, what is his plan in the position? Is to double up rooks on the f-file, bring your queen in to attack, and just try to checkmate me. Which is a good idea for a, you know, for a game in 30 delay 5. And at this point, let me find my notation book. So he overprotects his d4 pawn, and if I take, then he's going to centralize his knight, or maybe he'll take with the bishop. Either way, if I take, let's say if I take here, and he takes here, then, you know, like I said, he centralizes the knight. So after knight e2, I play queen c7, connecting my rooks, also x-raying the queen. So there could be positions where I'm actually going to put a rook on the d file, and after I'm going to take, and then sacrifice my rook in some cases because the queen is x-raying the other queen. He plays queen e4. Really good move, centralizing his queen. So now he is getting closer to my king. He's going to double up soon. What do I do? Well, I decide to just centralize my rook. And now, because his queen was eyeing the a4 pawn, kind of keeping my rook stuck on a8. But now, since he moved his queen, I can move my rook to the center. And now he doubles up. So, you know, if I move that other rook, now this would be a threat. But since I did not do that, since I moved my other rook over, now I do have adequate defenses here. And I play queen b6, kind of just like saying, hey, this pawn's hanging. What are you gonna do? And already I was kind of worried about some sacrifices. For example, like bishop takes h6. And it's kind of worrisome at times because it's because how naked my king is, but it's never enough. It's never enough. I think in this case, if queen e5 check, then of course I can just play f6, and if queen h5, then I'm a little bit scared. I can probably go rook. Oh man, wait, hold up. Hold up, I gotta be precise. Queen takes h6 is such a huge threat. Oh my gosh. Wait, f6 is a blunder. Wait, is it a blunder though? No way can that sacrifice be good. I mean, I could play bishop g5, and if h4, knight f6, and if queen e5, attacking the knight, then this just looks bad. So, wait, that bishop takes h6 might just be waiting on the spot. This is not good. I have to go bishop g5, h4. I could go. Okay, this is getting wild. If I take, he takes. I can go check, but I don't think that's worth anything at all. Because firstly, he can just go here, but this really does not seem good at all. Why did I do this? I think I'm just losing. Bishop takes h6 was just winning. Am I worse? Wait, I think I'm losing here. Okay, so this move, I have to ignore. I have to ignore the bishop. But if I ignore the bishop, he's just going to sack again. That's the issue. Like, if I just go queen takes b2, then he's just sacking. And what am I doing? I mean, what am I doing? Yeah, I mean, it's literally the same thing, but worse. Because then it's just made immediately. Okay, so I was losing. Queen b6 and I was losing. Which means I probably have to give up my knight for his bishop. And let's say queen takes, for example. Then I can choose to either take. And after knight takes, go bishop f5. And I can play queen b6 next. And life is good. I play rook d5 next. So I have to get rid of that bishop now. I don't. He plays bishop c1. So he moves his bishop in the opposite direction of where it should be going. And he's playing very quickly. Like, he played that move in like 30 seconds. Meanwhile, I'm tanking on the clock. I have 15 minutes after queen b6. My next move, knight f6, I'm down to 10 minutes. And I come up with this really nice idea. So knight f6, I have 10 minutes, queen h4. Now I take on d4. And I was calculating what happens if bishop takes h6 now. And that was one of the main things I had to consider here. I can probably take with check, and if knight takes, well, he can't take. Let's say king over, then I can take, and if queen takes, I can at a minimum. Actually, what was I planning? Bishop takes h6. If I go check and here, if takes and takes and takes, and of course if check, then here, and I'm fine. Although if rook takes, or bishop takes, queen takes, this is awfully scary for me. This looks losing, because mate is being threatened. And I can't stop it. So I think I was actually losing once again. So I was losing for one move. I was losing for two moves. Well, here he has to move the queen. Losing for 3 moves. Or I guess just a second time. So I was losing for 2 moves. But now I play rook d5. My idea of rook d5 was really neat. It's a really neat move. The idea is now if he takes on h6, I can go rook h5, and I'm okay. Like, legitimately, I'm okay. Like, he goes here, I go here. Like, I am okay. My rook does a crazy lift. Almost goes full circle to h8. You know, he's going to h8 next. But legitimately, like, he can be useful on g6, or I can go back to h5, and everything's good. So I thought, like, rook d5 was a really neat idea by me. You know, giving myself some pats on the back for that one. Rook d5 I played with 6 minutes left on the clock. And after rook d5, I played rook g3, setting up more attacks here. And now I just go rook h5, he goes queen h4. And now I'm like, okay, like, he's going for it. Like, at first I thought I'm going to go rook f5. That was kind of my original intention, but I was like, okay, well, he's going to take here. And this is already really annoying. Like, I thought about taking here, but I'm like, I'm just helping him. Like, this is a huge threat. Like, if I go here, like, this, I didn't even calculate this far. Like, maybe this is winning for me, but oh boy, dude, this looks scary, but it's actually probably just fine. Oh my gosh, there's a discovered attack on the rook, or on the king, I mean. So this is probably good. This is probably good for black. I didn't think that far ahead. Instead, I just played bishop d6, saying, "Hey, come get me. You're forked. You only have one option. Of course, if you take the knight, you know, taking advantage of this pin, I'm just going to take your rook, and your position is falling apart here. Well, your position has fallen apart. You're just out of material. So he plays rook takes g7 check, then takes on f6, and now plays g4. This was his final mistake. Really, what he should be doing, maybe, is just to play a move like knight f4, I guess. Like, my position is solid enough, but, like, if you do this, then at the very least, you know, you have an idea of bishop e5. For example, queen takes b2, bishop e5. This is really scary. I guess I can just go rook d5 here, attacking. Then you can go like here, and then if I go check, then you just go up here. So this is probably the way for him to proceed. I think my position is solid enough that I'm probably okay, because I can just, like, you know, take on a3, and now I have 2 outside passers. So I'm probably winning, but he needed to, like, keep calm and not play a move like g4, which just, like, his king is so weak now. His king is so weak. Wide open. So he plays g5. If my rook wasn't here, then that would be a huge threat, but, you know, my rook is there. So I play queen c6, and now I'm getting in. I am getting in here, and if he takes on h6 with the pawn, threatening mate, then it's actually kind of tough to find a mate here. Like, probably, like, I might just play like rook g8 check after king f2. I can go check, but then you go here, and then I can maybe sacrifice the rook and then bring my queen in. But then you can block, but then I can go check, and then if you go here, I can go check, and this is probably mate eventually, no matter what you do. So most likely there's like mates left and right here, so he definitely can't take on h6. So he just goes king f2, but now I centralize my queen with queen e4, and it's bad news bears. I'm coming in. He goes, takes on h6, but now I just go check, and this mate, no matter if you go to g1 or e1, my queen's coming in to meet you on e2 or g2. So it's game over for Scott. And I win my first round. And I end up winning with like 30 seconds on the clock. Maybe actually only 50. I don't think I went down to under 20 seconds like I usually do. So that was a good sign for me. But yeah, it was a really crazy game. I cannot believe I'm losing. I cannot believe I'm losing. I'm actually going to turn on the engine here for a bit and then run the whole game through game review. So turning on the engine. And This is the moment here. Yes, queen b6. Here, bishop takes h2. According to the engine, it's just equal. The better move was f5. e6 is guarded by my queen. An interesting situation. So now if queen e5, now I can take on h6, and now this position is winning. If I just take on h6 immediately, rook g3 check, bishop g5 is the only way not to lose immediately. h4, f5. Once again, this resource, f5, saving the day, queen e5, queen d6, and everything is okay. The position is just equal after everything's said and done. I'm not supposed to take back. I'm supposed to push the pawn. Doesn't matter. Okay, so I wasn't losing. That's the only moment I really wanted to think about. Outside of that, I'm going to hit the game view. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.